Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Right now we're at my bunker, and just to give you an idea here of some of the difficulties, as you can see I put in a nice threshold in here. But now if I want to measure this, traditional ways, take a tape measure, and then you have to kind of lay it down. But as you can see, I'm getting kind of it bends in the corner. I'm not really getting a good measurement. It's showing roughly 36 inches. Okay, we can use this. And we're getting in inches 35.984. Okay, rainy days like this on the homestead are good days for projects. Time is one of those things on the homestead. Yeah, you always say never enough time, but little things that can help you speed up time. And especially like myself, when I'm usually working by myself. My wife, she still works remotely, so she's busy, you know, at least 8 to 10 hours a day. And I'm out here doing a lot of things by myself, and little things such as this really do help when I'm working by myself. Okay, I'm gonna go over the unboxing of the Inkerma laser distance meter, or I like to say just digital tape measure. So you open it up. Got a really nicely printed manual, which is really nice because a lot of things nowadays only come with a PDF manual, and when you're outside working, not very helpful. We do have a USB-C charging cable, a lanyard, a really nice carrying case, and then the device itself. And this is rechargeable. It does have the plastic screen protector on there. I'm gonna leave mine on. It's kind of like grandma's plastic coated couch. Keeps it nice and clean. There is the charging port right there, and I'll turn this thing on. It comes pre-charged, and you can see right there it's backlit LCD, and that's pretty much it in a nutshell, what you get in the package. But it does have a lot of great features. Some of the best features are it has 2 measurements at once. So as you can see, you've got, I don't know if you can see right there on the ground, I got a laser down there, but then on this end it's got a laser too. And then you would just hit the button and do measurements that way. But it's also the precision or preciseness of it, I would say. It has a range of 393 feet. The accuracy is plus or minus 2 millimeters. So that's roughly about, ooh, what is that, like 78 thousandths. You know, good enough for government work. Pretty much about the same accuracy as a tape measure, but you've got less likelihood of bias or damaging the tip. Let me show you that right now. So on most tape measures like this, you're gonna either push it against or you're going to pull it this way on an object to measure. But as you can see, this little tip is floating. That way, when you're pressing there, you get a measurement, and then when you pull on this, what happens though is people constantly doing this, those little oval slots in there, they start to get bigger. These rivet holes start stretching, and then you start losing accuracy. And you can see in there, that's moving a pretty good amount as it's designed, but eventually it starts moving more and more and more, and you start losing accuracy on this. And believe it or not, in manufacturing worlds and all that, they have little devices that you set this in, and then you look to make sure you have a set line, like say 4 inches, and it's always on that line. And then once it gets out of that range, you have to get rid of the tape measure. And I'm betting lots of you homesteaders have tape measures that are probably handed down to you and really old and probably not as accurate as plus or minus 2 millimeters. But for homestead use, plus or minus 2 millimeters is like surgical precision for most, most things. So that's one little tip right there. But let's go take this thing out in the field and see how it really does. Okay, as you can see also, what's nice in here, I want to do some measuring, quick measuring of the height in here. Now you guys can learn how short I really am. Got it in inches. As you can see, hopefully you can see this, got a laser to the top. Quickly you can measure. I got 75.5 height. And then if I want to do the distance in width, I'm at 120.47 inches. And just to give you an idea, if I'm by myself in here and I'm trying to measure that end, I'm going to be taking a tape measure. There's nothing to attach the end to, and I'm kind of dragging the end on there, pressing it on there, and it's going to be a little bit difficult. And like I said, when you get it into the corner, you're kind of bending the tape on the corner and kind of getting a radius. Some issues using the tape measure. I mean, tape measures are great, but for doing quick, long measurements in spaces or in interiors, this thing works great. And as stated, it's also got an angle meter on it too, which is pretty neat. And I can show you that right now. It's raining outside, so it is a beautiful Homestead day. No, it isn't. It's raining, and it's icky out. Sorry about the mess in here. As you can see that weapon locker I got. I've got the paint in here. I'm going to start doing the painting in here. I've got electric line ran in there. It's slowly progressing. Let's go outside and show you some other stuff. And this is, what do they call that? That IP, whatever, weather resistant. As you can see right there, that 81, 80, that's the angle meter. So 90 should be vertical. Well, there you go, 90 is vertical right there. You can see perfect. I got it. And then, as you can see right here, I've got this edge. I don't know if you can see that. 22.5 degrees. Good enough for government work. So as you can see, this thing is weather resistant. I'm holding it out here in the rain, but lots of cool uses that I've used it in here. Like I said, I put my threshold in. I'm going to try to show you this a little bit better right here, just to give you a really good visual interpretation of how this works. Okay, you should be able to see both sides. So if you look over here, there's the laser over there measuring, and then you look over there, there's the laser over there. And then literally all you do is hit the button, and there's your measurements. So you've got, it's 36.141 inches across. Okay, I feel really bad. I just dropped this thing, but as you can see, it's rubber armored and it's pretty sturdy. And as you can also see, it's raining outside and you can see this thing's wet. Okay, I kind of want you to see this right here because this is pretty cool. You can see how it's doing the measurements. So there you're doing front and back. You can switch it to front only and your measuring start is the back here. Or you can have it start from the front here, depending on how you want to do it. So that's really cool. So there you can see again, you got the full front and back. You got from the rear of the device to out here measuring, or then you've got from the front here to here measuring. So that is pretty cool. You also do have, you can turn the sound off and on. I like to have the sound on just so I know that I'm using it correctly. But yeah, but like just to give you a quick reference, I'm in the room right now. I want to measure from one end of the room to the other. It's just really simple. Turn it on, hit measure, bingo. So we're at inches and I don't really want to be in inches. Turn it on, measure. Trying to get the angle as close to 0. There we go, that's okay, that's correct. 3606. Not bad, the building. So we're 36. And then here, we'll just turn this around this way by 29 and a half to the center, roughly. And then we're at 14.78. Pretty cool. So lots and lots of uses for this. I mean, there's so many different things I could use this for around here. Like I said, as a quick tape measure, trying to get some quick measurements. A lot of times when I have people that, you know, when I call for the spray foam, I had to go in here and measure with the tape measure. If I would have had this, I would have saved a lot of time. And this would have been so much easier by myself. Wow, it's raining a lot. I'm gonna leave it at that, but very useful tool, highly recommended. I wanna thank the company for sending me this. This was a really cool thing to test out, and it's a big help on the homestead. So in closing, I wanna just thank the company for sending me this really cool tape device, measuring tool. As a quality professional for many years, it's pretty neat using this and seeing how technology has changed and how it can make life easier doing tasks by yourself, especially like on a homestead like this where you're just constantly working and measuring things like that. Because like I said, to measure, you know, get estimates for, you know, spray foam insulation, to, you know, just measure things quickly and accurately, it's a lifesaver. I just want to go over some key features really quick, and I will do that right now. Okay, there you can see the device. It might still be wet. I've been using it, but I just want to go over the cool features on this again. Dual measurement methods, both front and back, or choosing just, you know, both ways or just one way, which is kind of neat. And then the backlit LCD, you could do lots of more advanced stuff such as the Pythagorean method and lots of more math than I want to go over in this video because it's a short video. The rechargeable battery, which is awesome. The angle sensor, turning the sound off and on. Data storage, the plus or minus 2 millimeters. And then you can also do area and volume with this, and I did not get into that, so that's kind of a cool thing, you know. And then measuring range, the model has actually got the number in at 393 feet. It's kind of a easy way to, when you look at the model number, it's 393, you can measure the max distance to 393. So that's pretty good amount of distance, like if you're measuring buildings, maybe you're measuring, I'm going to be using this shortly because I'm going to be putting Wi-Fi into the bunker, and I need to measure point to point just to make sure I'm within, and I'm going to be using this. Fencing, I mean, you can measure post distances. I'm going to actually use it on the ATV trail. There's a section that I'm kind of worried because our UTV has a maximum angle you should not exceed going downhill or uphill. And there's one section that's a little steep, so I'm going to take a board with me, set the board down and put this on there, and I can measure the angle. Make sure I'm safe to take the ATV before I go down there so I don't crash it. So, well, hopefully this was helpful, and this will help you. I wish I could say something lasery to kind of go with this, but I've got nothing today. The weather's really crappy, and this device will be used a lot on the homestead, and hopefully that's very helpful. And right now, this is the first time I've ever done this. It's kind of cool. The company is offering 10% off on this device. So I'm going to give you that code right now. That is a 10% off code. I will put it in the video description notes and all that jazz. It's 10% off. I mean, 10% is pretty cool. Thanks again, and until next time. Big camera. I'm still waiting for the temperature of my water to be perfect. It's still warming up. There. Thanks. Like and subscribe. I gotta support this shirt because it was a gift. I love it. I thank you. So thanks again. Bye.